Bwakai Jalerba leads a team of young, underfunded but motivated activists seeking a war crimes court for Liberia. Even though the situation is calm now, Jalerba does not want horrors of the past to repeat themselves.
Remember, 300,000 people died in the country. That is equivalent to genocide. During our Liberian civil crisis here, we saw people intestines being used as checkpoints in this country. We want to establish a justice mechanism in this country. We want to serve it as a some deterrent factor, a deterrent mechanism to deter would-be detractors.
What peace accords in Ghana came up with was the forced departure of then-President Charles Taylor, as well as the establishment of a nation-touring Truth and Reconciliation Commission. But for proponents of a war crimes court, this is not justice. They would like a model more like the Special War Crimes Court for Sierra Leone. They think former Liberian warlords, some of whom were elected as senators in post-war elections and have refused to even appear before the TRC, like Prince Johnson, are getting off too easily. They say they should face trials like this one, but in Liberia, so that it could also help establish a new judiciary. A former child soldier, Joseph Duo, recently testified before the TRC in Monrovia. Now he is a family man who is trying to get on with his life. He was made famous by a few gruesome pictures of him leading fighters during the war. He said appearing before the TRC was like curing a sickness in his head.
So once we go through the procedure, it means that everything will finish from everybody's mind. You won't talk about me, and then you got something in your heart because you already know why in your heart, and I already know why in your heart. So the TRC is good.
His body still shows some of the wounds of his own war experience. He says he was trying to fight for a more independent Liberia, but understands now that fighting is no solution. He says with so many former fighters still unemployed, having a court could stir up unnecessary trouble. The post-war government of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf also says the TRC is the right approach. Information Minister Lawrence Bropley says getting a war crimes court is no easy matter, and he says he believes truth commissions have been successful elsewhere.
What Liberians need to do is to give this a chance. We've seen it work in South Africa, we've seen it work in Latin America, we've seen it work in Accra, in Ghana, so we know that it can work in Liberia. There have been bumps along the way, but I think on the average, this is an excellent process and we need to see it working.
For activists who take to the streets, though, it is a waste of time. On this day, when President Bush visited Monrovia, police prevented a planned protest, but Jalerba says he will persevere.
We are going to remain unwavering, unvacillating, and undetermined in terms of our national quest. We think that there is a process we pursue, and we'll pursue it by all means. And mind you, Article 7 of the TRC process that we have here today, Section 26G of that TRC process talks about crimes against humanity are not pardoned by amnesty.
Other activists and lawyers also say it remains to be seen what will be done after the TRC concludes its hearings and whether charges can be brought against the worst offenders. But they say what has already been said could compromise any search for fair trials. They say a lot of emphasis has been put on security, but not enough on justice.